What if I told you that the entire US dollar system is a ticking time bomb? According to Yanis Varoufakis, one of the most outspoken economists in the world, America's economic dominance is built on an illusion, a bubble so massive that when it bursts, the 2008 crash will look like a minor rehearsal. And here's the terrifying part. Varoufakis says it's not a matter of if, but when. Today we're going to break down his most shocking interview, analyzing what it really means for the United States, for the dollar, and for the future of the global economy. If you want sharp geopolitical analysis without the spin, hit that subscribe button and join us. Varoufakis argues that Trump's economic team was far from a group of fools. In fact, he says they correctly identified the massive structural imbalance at the heart of the U.S. economy, the dollar's inflated role compared to America's shrinking manufacturing base. This is like living in a mansion built on sand. From the outside, the dollar looks strong and untouchable, but underneath, the foundation is weak. For years, Americans have been told that deficits don't matter, that money printing has no limits, that the dollar can never lose its status. But what Varoufakis is warning us is that this bubble is not sustainable, and when it bursts, it won't just be Wall Street that takes the hit. It will be pensions, savings, mortgages, and the cost of living for ordinary Americans. Even critics of Trump now admit that his diagnosis was right. The system is dangerously unbalanced, and yet no one in power has the courage to fix it. Varoufakis reveals what he believes was Trump's strategy. The idea was to devalue the dollar by 30% while still keeping it as the world's dominant currency, using tariffs as a weapon to pressure other countries. It is an almost schizophrenic plan, America wants a weaker dollar to fix its trade deficit, but at the same time wants the dollar to remain supreme globally. It's like trying to lose weight while eating fast food every single day. For regular Americans, this strategy could have devastating consequences. A weaker dollar means imports become more expensive, so everything from groceries to electronics would cost more. At the same time, in theory, U.S. factories could revive. But instead of a balanced strategic plan, tariffs were used like a sledgehammer, risking global retaliation and chaos. Rather than rebalancing the world economy, America could end up accelerating the very collapse it is trying to avoid. The question we should all be asking is this: how long can the U.S. keep bullying allies and rivals into supporting the dollar? And what happens when the world finally pushes back? Varoufakis warns that Joe Biden didn't undo Trump's economic war with China. He turbocharged it. And while Washington continues to fight old battles, China and the BRICS countries are quietly preparing for the future. They are building what Varoufakis calls a new Bretton Woods, a financial system designed to bypass the US dollar. They already have the tools: digital payment systems, central bank digital currency, and trade agreements that don't rely on dollars. Imagine waking up to a world where oil, gas, and international trade no longer require the US dollar. That exorbitant privilege that has allowed America to borrow endlessly and spend without consequences would vanish overnight. The impact would be devastating. Interest rates would skyrocket. The national debt would become unbearable. Washington would be forced to cut spending dramatically, putting Social Security, Medicare, and even the military budget at risk. Varoufakis is sounding the alarm. The U.S. is distracted by partisan politics, while China is preparing for a financial war that could change the global order forever. When asked about Europe, Varoufakis paints a grim picture. He argues that the Eurozone wasted its chance to reform after the financial crisis. Instead of building a stronger union, it fell into paralysis. Germany, once the industrial engine of Europe, is now deindustrializing at alarming speed. Emmanuel Macron is politically paralyzed, unable to push France toward reform. And Brussels, rather than offering real solutions, has resorted to what Varoufakis calls smoke and mirrors. For the United States, this is bad news. Washington needs a strong Europe to counterbalance China and Russia. But instead, America is left with an ally that is fractured, militarized, and increasingly irrelevant. Europe once spoke about building a green future, investing in innovation and technology. Today, those promises have been replaced with tanks, weapons, and military spending. In other words, bullets instead of batteries, war instead of progress. And that leaves the West weaker as a whole, just as China and the BRICS are gaining ground. In the final section, Varoufakis makes his most scathing point. He argues that Brussels has abandoned its promises of a €1 trillion green transition. Instead, Europe is pouring its resources into defense and militarization. And he warns that this is a mistake the United States is also at risk of repeating. Instead of investing in infrastructure, education, or clean energy, Washington is addicted to endless military spending. The West is chasing short-term power while sacrificing its long-term survival. For everyday Americans, this means higher taxes, fewer public services, and a society that feels poorer even as trillions are spent overseas. Varoufakis' warning is clear. By prioritizing war and defense over real investment, the West is slowly digging its own grave. The question he leaves us with is chilling. Are we building a future of prosperity, or are we just building weapons while our societies collapse from within? To sum up, Varoufakis delivers a devastating analysis. The dollar system is a bubble waiting to burst. Trump's diagnosis was partly correct, but dangerously handled. Biden escalated the Cold War with China. Europe is collapsing under its own mismanagement, and the BRICS are building a new order that could replace America's financial dominance. If he is right, we are entering a world where the dollar is no longer untouchable. And when that happens, America will face an economic shock unlike anything in living memory. So I'll leave you with this question. Do you believe the US dollar will still dominate the world in 10 years? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more sharp geopolitical analysis.